Striking Scorpion 82 is now sponsored by Warhammer 40,000 Lost Crusade, officially licensed by Games Workshop. Warhammer 40,000 Lost Crusade is set in a vast sector of the universe containing all the resources required to build a powerful fleet capable of purging the enemies of the Imperium. As a commander of the Primaris Space Marines, upgrade troops by unlocking new abilities and technology, and recruit classic 40k heroes with unique traits and playstyles. In a major update, Warhammer 40,000 Lost Crusade gives players the option to choose from 4 different Space Marine chapters: Ultramarines, Raven Guard, Imperial Fists and White Scars. Free to download and play. Unique link and code in the video description below, and by clicking the link it helps support the channel. Thanks and enjoy the game. Right, welcome to this review video for the new Black Templars Codex supplement. Games Workshop very kindly have sent me the army box through, and inside that box set you get your Codex supplement and cards as well as the models. So if you want to check out the full review and unboxing for that army set, it is very impressive, then check out that video. But in this episode here we will be taking a full flick through of the book. We'll be going through the rules and discussing that from a tactical point of view for the Black Templars, and we'll see if this Codex supplement is any good and what it has to offer for Black Templars players. There's the new models as well, so we'll check out the rules for them, and also already some resculpts of characters that are unique, or unit types that are unique to the Black Templars. Check out Goblin Gaming, they're the sponsors here on the channel, for discount 40k. Link for them is in the video description below, and if you use the unique link it does help the channel in some way. That's much appreciated. So this is this comes from a special box set, an army box set. So the cover art is different to usual, so they're celebrating the artwork here. It's great to see that Games Workshop have used an older piece of artwork and have really made that a prominent feature here for this box set. So it's good to see Games Workshop not all about just the new stuff, but celebrating older artwork as well, which is great. So, suffer not the unclean to live, uphold the honour of the Emperor, abhor the witch, destroy the witch, accept any challenge, no matter the odds. So that's fighting talk, I think, from the Black Templars. A creak of the book as we open up. So we're kind of expecting a further celebration of the artwork here. So they are fighting away against the orcs. So introduction. There's the artwork there that's featured. They give you a cover sheet here, a piece of cardboard inside the box set, and it's with this artwork on. So there it is. The Black Templars surge into battle like the Emperor's wrath made manifest, streaking down from the void or thundering to war in mechanized spearheads. They strike with a fury that leaves mankind's enemies reeling. So it just gives you an impression of what they're like. Some great heraldry here. Wow. Sigismund, it says. Very, very. If you're into history at all and you like Crusades, Teutonic type stuff, then this is the chapter for you for sure. The Holy Chapter. Very nice. Another brilliant piece of artwork here. Crusaders of the Empire. So getting a full-on Primaris treatment, it's great to see. And yet celebrating the old at the same time. I think it's a good combination they've gone for, because they're talking about Land Raider Crusaders here. Chapter Command. The Emperor's Champion. Blade Guard veterans. Imagine they will look fantastic painted up. Yeah, I would imagine a good few units of those as a theme. The theme I'm thinking of here actually would be lots of swords. Just get that, like knights, Crusader knights carrying a sword, and then try and replicate that theme as much as possible. If I did a Knights Templar army, just have lots of swords. So you've got For example, some of the HQ choices, you've got the Emperor's Champion with the Great Sword, and then I take the units like Blade Guard Veterans that are equipped with swords and shields, and just go for a very medieval sort of theme. Lots of heraldry here, which the Blade Guard Veterans have, and then just do very weathered campaign type colour scheme, or effects on top of the colour scheme. Yeah, that's what I go for, and I would try and pick out any kind of Space Marine units that are full of heraldry and detail, like some of the banners and so on. And I reckon I'd go down that kind of route. Yeah, and take a couple of dreadnoughts maybe. Try and avoid vehicles just painting up, black vehicles, and that's pretty much it. But try and focus more on ornate and detailed units, such as the Blade Guard Veterans. Obviously, the unique models that are available now as well with the new characters. A couple of dreadnoughts, and you've got a lovely theme. High Marshal Helbrecht. Warzone Armageddon, so fighting against the Orcs. Era Indomitus. Looks like they're Purges and Heretics. Purge Crusade. Yeah, I think Black Templars, the more heraldry and detail and ornate they are, the better. I think, yeah, that's the route I would try and go down. Taking on Chaos here, so they really go against some of the toughest and nastiest of the enemies of mankind. Yeah, always love that piece of artwork. Remember that from a good while ago. Tannhelm Crusade. Suffer not the unclean to live. Uphold the honour of the Emperor. Abhor the witch, destroy the witch. Accept any challenge no matter the odds. Yep. Colours of the Crusades, giving you your markings. I do like that colour combination. White, black and yellow. I like that combination just there. Oh, I don't know. I wonder how much you could. I wonder how much you could do that. I know it's the red is the specific colour, but whether you could swap that out for a mustard yellow colour, don't know. You get away with doing that. I'm liking that combination, white, black and yellow. So they are some of the Primaris vehicles painted up, and yeah, not so keen. I think the models. Yeah, Assault Intercessors look nice again with the chainswords. Yeah, chainswords or blades. I prefer blades. There's a Primaris sword brother here with a power maul, and plasma pistol looks particularly good. Yeah, Primaris. Beautiful. This really is good. Ah, wow. This is your Helbrecht here. You've got this combination. This is beneath the echoing prayer domes of Vanadus 6. High Chaplin Grimaldis sculpt here strides to war with his Cenobite servitors trudging at his side. The relics they hold aloft are marks of Grimaldis' unshakable faith, just as much as his ferocious zeal and lightning-raved Crozius Arcanum. So, an amazing sculpts here. Just as I was talking about banners, there you go. So that's an auto include, and it just looks incredible here. Okay, pictured fighting against Eldar, so let's have a quick check to see if there's any new models for the Eldar. Nope, same models for the last 20 years, never mind, moving on. Helbrecht looks fantastic with a sword stuck in the the sword stuck in the orc, and one of the servitors giving it a clean. Marshall looks fantastic. Do have to say that the Redemptor Dreadnought does look very, very good for Black Templars. Not so keen the vehicles look okay, not bad. Bikers look pretty good. Fights alongside regular Assault Terminators. Again, fighting against the Orcs. Yeah. Nice. Now we're on to the rules. So nice celebration of artwork and a lovely spread of models here. A nice showcase of the models. Also, okay, here we go. So onto detachment abilities. So we have here Black Templar vows. So at the end of the read mission briefing step, you can select one of the following Templar vows. So suffer not the unclean to live, uphold the honour of the Emperor, abhor the witch, destroy the witch, and accept any challenge no matter the odds. Quite straightforward, there's 4 to choose from. To the end of the battle, all units from your army with the Templars vow ability gain the effects of the selected vow. The effects with each vow can be found on pages. Each vow provides a series of abilities as well as a passion. Each passion is a drawback that affects Black Templars units whilst they're under the effects of that vow. So you get a plus and a minus. Just hope the plus is better in some way than the minus, but we'll see. So I'll approach this sort of tactically if I was to collect Black Templars. I've got a pretty good theme in my mind. I go for lots of swords, close combat, banners and heraldry and so on, and some supporting units like dreadnoughts and play it that way. I do realise you need a bit of speed on the table though to grab objectives and so on. Firepower support as well to consider. So, suffer not the unclean to live. So the vow is each time mod on this unit makes a melee attack against a non-vehicle unit and unmodified hit roll of a 6 automatically wounds the target's auto wounds, which is powerful enough. Yep, and it's a reward for melee. The passion though, each time this unit is selected to charge, the closest enemy non-aircraft unit within 12 and not within engagement range of other Black Templars units from your army must be declared as a target of that charge. So you've got to charge the closest target. It's not too bad. You don't have to charge, so you can be within charge range, you don't have to, so it's not going to constrict you too much. And if you position your unit correctly, then you can make your desired target the closest target and then attempt to charge them anyway. So I don't see that as being much of a problem. So that's good. Uphold the honour of the Emperor is next. So the vow is models in this unit have a 5+ invuln save just across the board, so that's excellent. Each time an attack is made against this unit, an unmodified wound roll of a 1 to 2 for that attack fails, irrespective of any abilities that the weapon or the model making the attack may have. So it's any attack. So that's going to be just a bit of protection across the board, so that's all good. The passion though, each time an enemy model makes an attack against this unit does not receive the benefits of cover against that attack. So you can't take cover, which, yeah, it's not bad. I think the pluses outweigh the minuses in that regard. And then abhor the witch, destroy the witch. Once per battle, in your first movement phase, if there are enemy psycho units in your opponent's army, to the end of the phase, add 3 inches to the move characteristic models in this unit. It's a bit of extra movement, help you get closer to the opponent. Then each time model in this unit makes a melee attack against a psycho unit, reroll wound rolls of 1. So not bad. Then while an enemy psycho unit is within 18 inches of this unit cannot perform any actions. Right. Okay. So I'm liking the first 2. And then we've got accept any challenge no matter the odds. Whilst this unit is within engagement range of any enemy units, if a combat doctrine is active for your army, the unit gains the bonus of the assault doctrine instead of the combat doctrine that is active. Each time a unit fights till the fight is resolved, add 1 to your attacks characteristic of models in that unit. This is not cumulative with the additional attack granted by the shock assault ability, which is a shame. The passion is that you are not allowed to fall back, which could be a problem. So you always gain assault doctrine. Bit of extra AP -1. It's pretty good. Yeah. So it's a good choice. The great thing is you pick in each battle. It's just a bonus you get. So not bad at all. So we're on to 2 pages of stratagems next. Remember, you've got your Space Marine stratagems, loads of those to choose from, pretty comprehensive. And now you've got some specific ones for the Black Templars. I'm thinking assault-based army, close combat with swords and so on. And it reflects very much the theme of the Black Templars to purge the enemy up close and personal, not to form gun lines and so on, but to cleanse them close quarters. So we'll see if there's any stratagems that can help out with this theme. So you've got Devout Push, 1 CP, use a stratagem to start the fight phase, select one Black Templars core or character unit from your army. And you select one of the following, there's 2 options here. If that unit is not within engagement range of an enemy unit, make a normal move up to 3 inches with that unit. It must end this move either closer to the closest enemy unit or closer to the closest objective marker. Start the fight phase. Just edge forwards a bit more, just to gain that reach. Yeah, very, very helpful. Or, if that unit is within engagement range of any enemy units, make a party move with that unit. That's the start of the fight phase. Now, use your strategy at the start of the fight phase. I guess that's before charges are made. I'm thinking you're getting to make an extra 3-inch push to close down the range for a charge. If so, that's unique and very helpful. For the Black Templars. Vicious Riposte. 1 CP. Use your strategy at the start of the fight phase. Select on Black Templars core unit. So something else to point out here, Black Templars players are going to need to remember is to go through your stratagems and put them out at the start of the fight phase. You can't start doing your close combat attacks and so on and then go, oh, there's a stratagem. You've got to do it at the start of the fight phase. It sounds like there needs to be a habit formed of checking through your stratagems and placing those down at the start of the fight phase before anything else happens. Which you can get caught out with these start of the fight phase cards here. Select on Black Templars core unit from your army until the end of the phase. Each time modern unit is destroyed by a melee attack and does not explode, roll 1d6. At 5+, after the attacking model's unit has finished making its attacks, it suffers a mortal wound. The unit can suffer a maximum of 6 mortal wounds per phase as the result of this ability. Crusader's Wrath, 2 CP. Use the stratagem in the command phase if the assault doctrine is active for your army. So the start of your next command phase, each time Black Templars model from your army makes an attack with a pistol or melee weapon, on an unmodified wound roll of a 6, improve the AP by 1. This is cumulative with the bonus of the assault doctrine. You can only use the stratagem once. So 2 CP, yes, okay, if you really need it, if you really need to make sure the damage comes through, that could help out a little bit. Just 2 CP for that one. For the Emperor's Honour, 2 CP. Use your stratagem in the fight phase, select on Black Templars character unit, excluding vehicles from your army, and 1 enemy character unit. At the end of that phase, each time that enemy character unit is selected to fight, if the selected Black Templars character unit is within engagement range of that enemy character unit, when your opponent is selecting targets for its attacks, those attacks only target the selected Black Templars character unit. So, just a way of protecting interesting strategy in that one. Then we'll go on to Bombastic Delivery. Again, it's 2 CP. Use your stratagem in your command phase when you select a Black Templars Chaplin unit to recite a litany. One litany that unit recites this phase is automatically inspiring, do not roll, and the unit can recite 1 additional litany this phase. It's 2 CP, but useful enough. I guess you can use that on Grimaldis, perhaps. The Revered Repositories, 1 CP. Use your stratagem before the battle. When you're mustering your army, select on Black Templars model from your army that has the word Sergeant or Sword Brother in the profile. Then this model can have one of the following relics of the Eternal Crusade. So it's Witch Seeker, Bolts, Sword of Judgment, Skull of the Dominus, Mastercrafted Weapon, Digital Weapons. So each one has to be unique. You can only use the stratagem once. It's the upgraded Sergeant. Good idea. Heir of Sigismund, 1 CP. Use your stratagem after nominating a Black Templars character model that is not a named character to be your Warlord. Give 1 additional Warlord trait to them. Extra Warlord trait. Then we've got Champion of the Feast. Okay, so then you get select 1 Black Templars model from your army that has the word Sergeant or Sword Brother in their profile. Add 1 to the model's attacks and wounds, and improve their weapon skill by 1. Well, why wouldn't you? Fantastic, 1 CP to upgrade that model. I guess you can combine it with the Revered Repositories as well to give them a relic. I guess you could. So you can go for upgrading the model and give them some extra war gear. So it looks like a good combination. So Abhor the Witch, 1 CP. Use your stratagem in your opponent's psychic phase after psychic test is passed for an enemy psychic unit, and after any Deny the Witch attempt is made. If the enemy psychic unit is within 24 of any Black Templars units from your army, roll 1d6 on a 4+, the psychic power is denied. And then Tenacious Assault, 1 CP. Use a stratagem when an enemy infantry or beast unit, excluding units that can fly, that is within engagement range of any Black Templars units from your army, selected to fall back. On a 4+, on a d6, they cannot fall back. It's half a chance of stopping them from moving away, which tactically could be very handy. And then Strength of Conviction. Use this as 1 CP, use this stratagem in your command phase, select one Black Templars core unit from your army. To start the next command phase, that unit has the objective secured ability. Right, okay, yeah, well, interesting one. Then you got the Emperor's Will, 1 CP. Use your stratagem in your shooting phase, select one Black Templars infantry unit from your army that's advanced this turn. Until the end of the phase, the unit is eligible to shoot with, but you can only make attacks using pistol, rapid fire, assault weapons when you select that unit to shoot with. Models from that unit do not suffer the penalty incurred for moving with assault weapons, or advancing for rolls, for the hit rolls for firing assault weapons. Yeah. Then you've got Shock and Awe, 1 CP. Use your stratagem in movement phase. Select on Black Templars Land Raider Crusader model from your army that made a normal move this turn. Units embarked from this transport can disembark in this phase, but cannot be selected to move again that phase. Does it say you can't charge though? So that's really making the Land Raider quite appealing, because it's making it into a very good delivery option. Yeah. Yes, it's huge. You get to make an all move with the Crusader, the Land Raider Crusader, and then disembarking 3 inches and then making a move, and then I think you're allowed to charge. So that's excellent. That is excellent. Exemplars of the Crusade, 1 CP. Use your stratagem in the fight phase. Select on Sword Brethren unit from your army. At the end of this phase, each time model that unit makes a melee attack and a modified hit roll for 6 scores an additional hit. Okay, and then Heretic's Pyre, 1 CP or 2 CP. Use your stratagem at the start of the shooting phase. Select on Black Templars core unit from your army. At the end of the phase, each time a flame weapon from that unit targets a unit that has between 6 and 10 models, it makes a minimum of 3 attacks. Each time a flame weapon from that unit targets a unit that has 11 or more models, do not roll a dice to randomly determine how many attacks are made. Instead, make the maximum number of attacks. And if the unit has a MK Gravis unit, then the stratagem costs 2 CP, otherwise it's 1. And then finally, Incendiary Shells, 1 CP. Use the stratagem in your shooting phase in the Black Templars unit from army select to shoot with. At the end of the phase, each time modern unit makes an attack with an Astartes shotgun, the attack has a damage characteristic of 2. Right, so moving on to Litanies of the Devout. So this is your priests or your chaplains here, so some unique. 6 of these are unique to the Black Templars, so good news. So then moving on, we're going to Litanies now for the chaplains, or priests as they're called here for the Black Templars. So we'll see if any of these are any good. I would imagine, or I'd hope they would be good, because chaplains like Grimaldis and perhaps other models to feature in your Black Templars list. So number 1, Litany of Divine Protection. I guess you get access to, you get access to Codex Space Marines, which is great, plus these as well, so a real variety to choose from if you're going to run a Black Templars chaplain or priest. So Litany of Divine Protection. If this litany is inspiring, select one friendly Black Templars core or character unit within 6 inches of the priest. Each time model on that unit would lose a wound, roll 1d6 and a 5+, the wound is not lost. So a 5+ feel no pain bubble for core and character models. Excellent. I can imagine that would be very, very helpful. If you've got a high concentration of units, then you really could get good value out of that one. Psalm of Remorseless Persecution. If this litany is inspiring, select one friendly Black Templars core unit within 6 inches of the priest. Sorry, it's not a bubble. You're selecting one unit, so could well be helpful enough. Yeah, you want the chaplain to do something else, so not just grant that. It needs to be doing something else to get the value of them. So if this listing is inspiring, select one friendly core unit within 6 inches of the priest. Each time modern that unit makes a melee attack, an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage, and they've capped it at 6. But that could well be very, very potent, that one. Yeah, really good actually. Ouch, 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 up to 6 mortal wounds. So you're going to take a target down, or inflict that damage, enough attacks, enough 6s to wound come through, then whatever the target is, it's in trouble. Could be a character, just wipe them out, all those mortal wounds, could be a tough vehicle or something, or a monster, and then those mortal wounds just get through the toughness and the armour and so on. So that one is a bit of a gold nugget. That one's Sum of Remorseless Persecution. Nice. In fact, well, hold on a second. I'm thinking I'll play that on a really good melee unit, but it doesn't have to be. You could play on a basic unit that's just equipped with bolters and nothing else, and then it's just searching for those 6s will get you the mortal wounds. So you could really help out a unit that's not perhaps that well equipped for close combat, and actually turn them into something quite potent. So that one is excellent. Plea of Deliverance. If this litany is inspiring, select one friendly Black Templars core or character unit within 6 inches of the priest. If the unit or its models are being affected by any psychic powers manifested by enemy models, the effect of those powers ends. So you can neutralise psychic powers, and then until the start of your next command phase, that unit and the models it contains are not affected by any psychic power manifested by enemy units. Whoa, powerful stuff. Good thing about these is you're selecting these before the game begins. You know who you're fighting against, you select your appropriate litany. So I can imagine that being very useful indeed. Fires, if you're up against Psychers. Fires of Devotion. If this litany is inspiring, select one friendly Black Templars core or character unit within 6 inches of the priest. Each time a unit fights, if it made a charge move, was charge formed heroic intervention, then it gets an extra attack. I guess that's on top of the Shock Assault extra attack. It's fine, absolutely fine, excellent. Another really good one. Fervent Acclimation. If this litany is inspiring, select one Templar vow that is not in effect and select one friendly Black Templars core or Black Templars character unit within 6 inches. It gains that vow. Yeah, it's a bit of tactical flexibility with that one. Oath of Glory. If this litany is inspiring at the start of the fight phase, if this priest's model is within engagement range of any enemy units, it can fight first. Very helpful. And then each time this priest model makes an attack with a Crusader Squad, or Artificer Crusader, or a relic that replaces one of those weapons, a modified hit roll of a 6 scores 2 additional hits. 6 is popping 2 extra hits, and +1 to the strength characteristic of the priest as well. So all in all, that is an excellent set of litanies. I think they are very, very good indeed. So really, going well here for Black Templars. I think they have a nice supplement. We've still got a good way to go. I haven't looked at any of the units yet. So Warlord Traits next, and it says here, well it says, yeah, you must get Space Marines Warlord Traits options as well, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But it says here, if Black Templars character model is your Warlord, you can use the table below to determine the Warlord trait they have. It doesn't mention the Space Marine Codex, but I presume you still can. Epitome of Piety. In your opponent's psychic phase, this Warlord can attempt to deny one psychic powers if it were the Psyker, were a Psyker, and then +1 to deny the witch test taken for this Warlord. So your ability to deny it and +1 to that denial as well. So fine, yeah, if you really need it, that's a good one. After this Warlord finishes a charge move, add 1 to the Warlord's strength, and after the Warlord finishes a charge move, roll 1d6 for each enemy model that is within engagement range on a 5+, it's a mortal wound. That's Paragon of Fury. Master of Arms next. Start the fight phase. If this Warlord is within engagement range of any enemy units, it can fight first, and he gets +1 attack as well. Good one, yeah. Inspirational Fighter, it's an aura ability. While a friendly Black Templars core unit is within 6 inches of the Warlord, each time model that unit makes a melee attack, an unmodified wound roll of 6, improve the armor penetration characteristic of that attack by 1. This is cumulative with the bonus gain for Assault Doctrine. Nice. So you are getting a lot of perks, a lot of bonuses here geared towards character and core units across the board in various aspects we looked at here. So that theme, I'm thinking of infantry fighting on foot with swords and so on, it seems to fit quite well with what's going on here. Obviously you've got to take into account you need speed, manoeuvrability as well, just to tactically play the game, but the theme I'm thinking of seems to be plenty of rewards available here. Frontline Commander, add 1 to advance and charge rolls made for this Warlord. Yeah. And then each time a friendly Black Templars core unit declares a charge against an enemy unit that is within engagement range of this Warlord, add 1 to the charge roll made for that unit. Okay, and then Oathkeeper. This Warlord is eligible to form a heroic intervention as if it is within 6 inches horizontally and 5 inches vertically. Each time this Warlord makes a heroic intervention, it can move up to 6 inches instead of 3, All others, so a bit more of a stretch of heroic interventions than yes, okay. So yeah, it's alright, that one. But no, there's some good ones in there for sure. Your named characters then, the High Marshal Helbrecht has Frontline Commander, and Chaplin Grimaldis has Epitome of Piety. Next, Relics. Be interested to see these. Expecting some really good relics here for the Black Templars, but we'll see what they have. It's 2 pages. 2 pages of relics, yes, plenty to choose from. But if I was putting a list together, I'd be going through these. Look at the Sword of Judgment, very cool. Looks like an Uruk-hai type tip on the end there. Or the Berserker, I think, from Lord of the Rings. That kind of tip on the sword, or point of the sword. And some pictures here of some of the relics. Yeah, this is very cool. So the Crusader's helm, it's actually illustrated here. So you add 3 inches to the range of the bearer's aura abilities to a maximum of 9 inches. In your command phase, select 1 friendly Black Templars core unit within 9 inches of the bearer until the start of your next command phase. Each time model on that unit makes an attack, the Assault Doctrine is considered to be active for that attack. That's excellent. So you're getting that extra, they're getting the AP -1 all the time. Yeah, very cool. So Crusader's helm, brilliant concept and pretty good rules on that one. Witch Seeker bolts each time you fire. So this is you give a model this relic and select one bolt weapon. The model's equipped with, and then you use the profile here. So each time you fire a Witch Seeker bolt, you can ignore the Lookout Sir rule if the target is a Psyker character. Each time an attack is made with a Witch Seeker bolt against a Psyker unit, a successful hit roll inflicts D3 mortal wounds, in addition to any normal damage. And then that's alright. And then the Aurelian Shroud. Once for battle at the start of either player's command phase, the bearer can unveil the Aurelian Shroud. If it does, until the start of the next command phase, the bearer has the following ability. So it's an aura ability. While friendly Black Templars core infantry units within 3 inches of this model, models in that unit have 4+ invuln save. God, nice. Start of either player's command phase, right? So you've lost turn 1, your opponent's going first, you sense trouble, then you can activate it. And I can imagine that'd be very, very helpful indeed. It's quite tight though, 3-inch aura. And it's only core as well. So Ancient Breviary, however it's pronounced. Chaplain model only. Each time a roll is made to determine a litany recited by the bearer is inspiring, roll an additional d6 and discard the lowest result. Excellent. Nice reliable chaplains for those excellent listeners. That one's a good addition to have. Skull of the Dominus aura. While an enemy psychic unit is within 12 inches of this model, subtract 1 from the psychic tests taken for that unit. While an enemy psychic unit is within 12 inches of this model, each time a psychic test is taken for that unit, it suffers perils of the warp on any dice roll that includes a double, instead of only a double 1 or double 6. Once a battle at the start of the opponent's psychic phase, the bearer can raise the skull of the Dominus. If it does, to the end of the phase, the bearer has the following ability. Skull of the Dominus aura. While an enemy psychic unit is in 18, subtract 1 from psychic tests for that unit. And this is cumulative with the other abilities of this relic. Okay, some major psychic denial stuff going on here if you need that for your list. The Sword of Judgment, this long weapon across here. So, you're swapping it out for a power sword, mastercrafted power sword, relic blade only. So you get +3 strength, AP -3, 3 damage. Yep, it's brutal. Nasty weapon. Adamantine Mantle, 5+ feel no pain. Artificer Armour, 2+ save, 5+ invuln save. Mastercrafted weapon, digital weapons. Alright, okay, so that's the usual. Aquila Immortalis, +1 toughness and attacks. Straightforwards. These are all handy. It doesn't sound much, but if you start stacking up some other abilities, you can really turn a character into something pretty good. So that's fine. Perdition's Edge. It's a power axe or mastercrafted power axe only. So you get +3 strength, AP -2, 2 damage. And then each time an attack is made with this weapon, unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts 2 mortal wounds on the target and the attack sequence ends. Breath of the Throne. Model with a combi flamer or auto flamer only. This relic replaces the flamer profile on a combi flamer or auto flamer and has the following ability. It's range 12, assault D3 plus 3, strength 5 minus 1 and 2 damage. And it's auto hits on the targets. That one's quite nice. And then Tannhauser's Bones. Each time an attack is allocated to the bearer, the damage characteristic of that attack is changed to 1. So it's not -1, it's changed to 1. So you could have damage 4, damage 6, damage D6. It's damage 1. That is incredibly good. So there's some great holy relics here. Some real hidden gems for the Black Templars. Mightily impressed by this supplement here. Right, so what we have now, if your army includes any Black Templars Chaplain units, you can use the upgrades listed below. For each Black Templars infantry or Black Templars biker unit from your army, you can select one upgrade from the list below to give to that unit. Each upgrade in your army must be unique. Once selected, the upgrade must be allocated to one model in that unit, and that model gains the abilities listed. This model should be distinctive from the others in the unit. Before each battle, you should make it clear to your opponent which model has the upgrade. Each time you upgrade a unit in this way, its power rating is increased, and then let's talk about Crusades, that's it. So, what we'll do is work our way through these. I'll call out what it costs you in points as you put your list together, and then see what the relic bearer options here can do for you. See if there's any gems in here as well. So I'm usually not so keen on these because you've got to pay points for it, which is tragic, whereas regular relics, you just get them. Or you pay CPs for them. It doesn't actually affect the points you're paying for your army. We'll see what we got here. So Beast Pyre here, it's +1 power level or 10 points. It's model with a flamer or Pyre Blaster only. It replaces it with range 15, assault D6, strength 6 minus 2, 1 damage. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, it's auto hits the target, so that's alright, a weapon. The Bones of Mordred, 10 points. Each time this model makes a melee attack, an unmodified wound roll of a 6 inflicts a mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage. So, now what's interesting, just checking in, what's interesting is for each Black Templars infantry or biker unit, it doesn't say core. So now you're expanding out onto other units that could benefit from this. Bones of Mordred though, but 6 is popping extra mortal wounds. But how many attacks is that model going to get if it's, you know, just a squad leader? The Crux Obsidian, 15 points for this one. That is each time an attack is allocated to this model, subtract 1 from the damage characteristic. I don't think it's worth these points. I don't know why. It seems to be a common thing that the Games Workshop overcost these, I think, in points. The Fist of Balthus, 10 points. Model with a power fist, you get ×2 strength, 8 minus 3 and 3 damage, that's really good, and no minus to hit rolls. So, yeah, for 10 points. Yeah, pretty good. Remember, you've already paid probably 10 points for the power fist, you're looking at 20 points overall, but it is a good weapon. Certainly is. The Holy Orb, 15 points. Once for battle in your shooting phase, you can select one enemy unit within 6 inches invisible to the model. Roll a d6 on a 2+, it's d3 mortal wounds. Until the end of the turn, the unit is not eligible to fight until all other units have done so. So you can shut them down as well, so that's pretty good, but it's 15 points. The Icon of Heinemann, 15 points. Each time an attack with an arm penetration characteristic of 1 or 2 is allocated to this model, it's changed to 0 instead. So yes, okay, and then Light of the Emperor's Grace. It's +1 leadership of models in the unit. This model has the following ability: Light of the Emperor's Grace aura while an enemy psychic unit is within 12, it's -1 to psychic tests. And then finally Sigismund's Seal, it's 20 points. Start the first battle round, select one enemy unit that is on the battlefield to the end of the battle. Each time a melee attack is made by this model's unit against that enemy unit, you can reroll the hit roll and reroll the wound roll as well, so you can get that, pull that off. That would be powerful enough. So yeah, some ones in there okay, you got to pay points for them, but some of those are pretty good. Lovely bit of artwork here. Again, a piece of artwork from the past here at Games Workshop. Continuing on with that theme here for this book and box set. And then we'll go on to chapter proofs. So you've got your usual secondaries you're choosing. We'll see if any of these are any good. It's a bit mix and match with some of the codexes. Some of them I think are absolutely fantastic. Others, like, I've struggled with the Orcs, for example. Just the way that my list is and the units I have available. We'll see if any of these are any good for the Black Templars. Alright, so Purge Enemy is the first one. Bathe your blade in the blood of your foe. Sounds good. What we want to do is just to see what we're up or what we're comparing to here. So Purge the Enemy. You've got Assassination, killing characters, Titan Hunter, which is quite specific, and then bring it down, just trying to destroying vehicles, which isn't as high scoring as it used to be. So instead you can go for this one. At the start of the first command phase you must select one Black Templar's character model from your army to issue the challenge, and your opponent must select one character model from their army to accept the challenge. If your player does not have a character model, they must instead select their Warlord. So 5 points. This is quite similar to some of the other factions. I've seen this one before. I think it's the Orcs. Yeah, I could be wrong on that one, but it's one of them where it's Blood Angels. The model that accepted the challenge was destroyed. The model that accepted the challenge was destroyed as a result of a melee attack, and the model that accepted the challenge was destroyed as a result of a melee attack made by the model that issued the challenge. Yeah, I think that's identical to the Blood Angels one. I think it's pretty good, but no, it's pretty good. It's flexible enough. You just destroy that selected unit, you get 5 points. Anyone can do it. If they're killed in close combat, it's half a chance. You know, 5 points for that. So even if the challenger doesn't get to actually fight that target, if it's killed by the rest of your army, then you can get rewards for it. So I think that's a pretty good one. Yeah. Then Battlefield Supremacy. So that's engaging on fronts to control table quarters behind enemy lines. It's getting into the opponent's deployment zone, and then Stranglehold, controlling 3 or more objective markers and more on the opponent at the same time. So, allow not the worship of unclean idols. Score 4 victory points in the battle round if you control 1 or more objective markers that were controlled by your opponent at the start of the battle round. The Black Templars Chaplin unit for army is within range of that objective marker. Ooh, it's quite restrictive, that one. Tricky. And then No Mercy, No Respite is the next one. You need a strong game plan for that to work. No, you can't sit on the objective. You've got to keep clearing objectives that are controlled by the opponent. So that's very tricky to get that one right. Carry out your vows. No Mercy, No Respite. So you're up against no prisoners. Grind them down, and then to the last. So yeah, this could be an option here. So you could select the secondary objective if you've selected any Templar vows. This objective consists of a progressive component and an endgame component. You can only score victory points to the endgame component for the Templar vow that was selected at the end of the read mission briefing setup, and not any other vows that were selected during the battle. So progressive component is score 4 victory points at the end of the battle round if the number of enemy units destroyed by melee attacks made by Black Templars units from your army is greater than the number of friendly Black Templars units that were destroyed during this battle round, and you can score a maximum of 12 points during the battle. So that's one part of it, which is quite doable. If you get aggressive melee, then you're going to get rewarded for it. And in the end game, score 3 points in the battle if any of the following apply. The Suffer Not the Unclean to Live vow was selected before the battle, and an enemy Warlord model was destroyed by a melee attack made by Black Templars character unit from your army. The Uphold the Honour of the Emperor vow was selected for the battle, and a Black Templars infantry unit, excluding characters from your army that is not below half strength, was in the enemy deployment zone at the end of the battle. It's a little straightforward little mini missions here to get points for that. Abhor the Witch. Destroy the Witch vow was selected before this battle, and any enemy psychic character units were destroyed during the game. And finally, accept any challenge to matter the odds. Vow was selected before this battle, and an enemy unit with a starting strength for 21 models, or an enemy model with a wounds characteristic of 20 or more was destroyed during the battle. So that's the options that are available. That Carry Out Your Vows one, not bad, very nicely themed, the Black Templars, and there's 2 aspects to it, it's flexible enough. So on to Crusade. I don't play Crusade, so I'll flick through these, we'll show you the pages. Centurion Devastators do look pretty cool, painted up, Black Templars. We're heading towards the units here, but we'll keep going as a name generator. You can get some inspiration from that, it's helpful enough. There's them fighting in the sands against the orcs. Okay, so on to data sheets here. So additional war gear options. Several Black Templars miniatures equipped with weapons are not available to those models that are taken from other chapters. So it lists them there. And then the castle, if a primary lieutenant is from the Black Templars, you can use the following war gear options for them. So some unique stuff for them. The Black Templars Armory. If a Gladiator Lancer, Gladiator Reaper, Gladiator Valiant, Impulsor, Repulsor, Executioner is from the Black Templars chapter, you can use the following additional war gear option for it. If this model is not equipped with an Iron How Heavy Stubber, it can be equipped with one multi-melter. If a Repulsor is from the Black Templars chapter, you can use the following additional war gear for it. That's the same, instead of being equipped with an additional Iron How Heavy Stubber, you can be equipped with a multi-melter. Okay, so you get a bit of a unique configuration for vehicles as well. So here we go. We'll take a look first of all at High Marshal Helbrecht. And we'll try and get an idea on points. So he's 160 points, not the most expensive HQs, but a fair amount in cost. Oh, look at this. There's two head options here. There's this Teutonic Crusader Knight helm here. Or you've got the bare head option now. Traditionally, I guess the bare head, but with the helm on. He looks amazing. Wow. Brilliant. Yeah, and yet again, an amazing sculpt here from Games Workshop. High Marshal Helbrecht and power level 8. Movement 6, weapon skill, ballistic skill 2, plus strength 4, toughness 4. 8 wounds. 6 attacks. Oh boy. Leadership 9, a 2 up save. So High Marshal Helbrecht is equipped with Ferocity, Attendant Thrall's Fists, Sword of the High Marshals, Frag Grenades, Crack Grenades. You can include 1 per army. He is a beast. Put on a big base, nice diorama, assistant model, servitors nearby, dead orc with a sword in the chest, golden armour. You can't go wrong with him. 160 points. I think it's going to be pretty good for what you're going to get here. So Ferocity then. Before selecting targets, you can select one or both of the profiles, which is like a combi weapon. So you've got the bolt rifle, which is range 30, rapid fire 2, strength 5 -1 1 damage. And you've got your melter gun, range 12, usual rules for that. Attendant Thrall's Fists. So melee, strength 3, AP 0 1 damage. Each time the bearer fights, makes 2 additional attacks with this weapon, and no more than 2 attacks can be made with this weapon. So that's his helpers. And then the Sword of the High Marshals, this is where it gets quite important here. So you've got 2 profiles to choose from actually. You go one-handed, go +2 strength, so strength 6, -3 and 1 damage. You get 2 hit rolls instead of 1, so that's going to be like 12 attacks. Plus on the charge as well, 13 on attacks with him. Or you can go two-handed, ×2 strength, so strength 8, -3 and 3 damage. No minus to the hit rolls. So yeah, melee is well equipped, profile's excellent. So now onto some bonuses here. So he's got Angels of Death, Crusader Wrath, or ability while friendly Black Templars core units within 6 inches add 1 to the strength characteristic of models in that unit, so helpful enough. Rites of Battle, while friendly Black Templars core units within 6 inches each time model in that unit makes an attack, reroll hit rolls of 1. So yeah, it's again helpful enough. And then Chapter Master, in your command phase, select one friendly Black Templars core or character unit within 6 inches of this model. To the start of your next command phase, each time model that unit makes an attack, you can reroll the hit roll. And he's also got a 4+ in 1 save. So yeah, so generally all round pretty good. So an excellent HQ choice, amazing model. So very, very cool. Another excellent resculpt here from Games Workshop is Chaplin Grimaldis. Now he will cost you a bit less, 140 points, a bit cheaper. Movement 6, but it's power level 7, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 9, 3 up save. You've got this Cenobite Servitus here, weapon skill, ballistic skill 4+, strength 6, toughness 4 actually, leadership 6 and 4 up save, only 1 wound. Okay, so it gives you what the loadout is. So he's got a plasma pistol. And then the Artificer Crozius is +2 strength, 8 -2 and 2 damage. So decent enough. And then the other war gear then. Yes, you've got You've got 3 Cenobite Servitors. One of them is equipped with the Banner of the Fallen Crusaders. One's equipped with Remnant of the Fallen Temple. And the other is the Scepter of Anointing. So Banner of Fallen Crusaders. The bearer has the following ability. Banner of Fallen Crusaders, aura whilst a friendly Black Templars core or character unit within 6 inches. Each time an advanced roll is made for that unit, add D3 plus 3 to the unit's move instead of D6. Okay, and then a Remnant of the Fallen Temple. The bearer has the following ability. The Remnant of the Fallen Temple aura, while a friendly Black Templars core or character unit within 6 inches. Each time model unit would lose a wound. 6 plus feel no pain. Then Scepter of Anointing. Each time a roll is made to determine if a litany recited by this unit's Chaplin Grimaldis model is inspiring, add 1 to the roll. And that's very, very helpful indeed. So you've got Angels of Death, Spiritual Leaders, Aura ability, whilst friendly Black Templars unit, they can use his leadership as per usual for a Chaplain. There's a 4+1 save for the Rosarius, and then Mindless Followers. Whilst this unit contains any Cenobite Servitor models, each time an attack is successfully wounds this unit, that attack must be allocated to one of those models. The destruction of Cenobite Servitor models is ignored for the purposes of morale tests. If Chaplin Grimaldis is ever destroyed, by remaining Cenobite Servitor units are also destroyed. In addition, Cenobite Servitor models cannot be your Warlord. Okay, so they're doing something, they're helping, they're also acting as a bodyguard as well. Devout. In your opponent's psychic phase, this unit can attempt to deny 1 psychic power as if it were a Psyker, and Indomitable Resolve. Once per battle, when this unit's Chaplin Grimaldis model is destroyed, you can choose to roll 1d6 at the end of the phase instead of using any rolls that are triggered when that model is destroyed. For example, only in death does duty end. If you do, then on a 4+, you can get him back up with 3 wounds. Nice. Can't deploy within engagement range, fair enough, but there's a chance he can get back up, and it's not a stratagem, it's built into his profile. It's great news. So Priest, he knows Litany of Hate from the Codex Space Marines and 2 other litanies. In your command phase, if this model is on the battlefield, it can recite 2 litanies it knows that have not already been recited by a friendly model this turn. Roll 1d6 and a 3+, it's inspiring. Yep. Oh boy, if I was going for these, I'd try and get all the characters, because it's such a celebration of the chapter. I get all of them. I get Helbrecht, I get Grimaldis and his Cenobite crew, and I get the Emperor's Champion as well, just have him running around. And still have plenty of points spare, I think, to bulk the army up. Now the Emperor's Champion is straight 100 points, it's worth going for him, he's an HQ choice. So power level 5, movement 6, weapon skill 2+, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, toughness 5, 5 wounds, 5 attacks as base, which is great, leadership 9, 2 up save. So, he's got a bolt pistol, then the black sword, which has been painted black here, so I see what they're doing with that. So you can go for Sweeping Blow, which is +3 strength, A -3 and 2 damage. Don't get any extra attacks though, which is a shame, like Helbrecht, but never mind. And then Thrusting Strike, ×2 strength, so that's going to give you strength 8. A -4 and 3 damage, it is -1 to the hit roll there. So, yeah, okay. Angels of Death, 4+1 save for Armour of Faith, Skillful Parry, each time a melee attack is made against this model, it's -1 to the hit roll. Sigismund's Heir, each time this model makes a melee attack against an enemy character, you can reroll the hit roll and you can reroll the wound roll, that's exceptionally good. You can never be given any relics. Martial Superiority, at the end of the fight phase, if this model is within engagement range of any enemy character units, it can fight first that phase. And then Honour or Death. This model is eligible to form a heroic intervention, so 6 inches instead of 3, and it can move up to 6 inches to get to fulfill that heroic intervention. So it's okay. Yeah, not bad. Next is the Primaris Crusader Squad. I'll skip some of this. What I'll do is I will cover, let's have a look here, you've got the I started shotgun. Right, the Pyre Pistol, range 12, pistol D6, strength 3, -1 damage, auto hits on the target. The Pyre Blaster, so the medium sized weapon, range 15 on that, assault D6, strength 4, -1 damage, and it's auto hits. Everything else just normal on there. So what you've got is, you've got the Sword Brother, the squad leader. Then you can go for 4 to 8 neophytes, and then 5 to 11 initiates. Yeah, nice. I do like the mixed loadout. Very cool. Okay, then you've got Crusader Squads, where you've got your initiates, neophytes, sword brother all fighting alongside each other. So that's your Space Rangers, Scouts fighting together. Yeah, so what you get in here, it says is smokescreen. Whilst this unit contains any neophyte models, it has the smokescreen keyword. Okay. Cool. And then you've got the Primaris Sword Brethren. Oh boy. So you've got specific ones here, not just Blade Guard veterans, but you've got these, the Sword Brethren. Wow. Some really, really good options here. I just love the swords, the broadswords, and just the whole medieval sort of theme going on here, but these look beautiful. So, with these, so you're looking at Crusader Squads, so look here. This is Troops Choice, 18 points per model, neophytes are 13. And then we've got the Primaris Crusaders. Yeah, so regular Crusaders, regular Marines 18 points, Primaris Crusaders 19 points, and the Neophytes is 16 points. Time between 10 and 20 models in the unit. Yeah, so then on to Elites. This is the Primaris Sword Brethren. Their basic stat line: movement 6, weapon skill, ballistic skill 3+, strength 4, toughness 4. 2 wounds, yeah, okay, I guess regular, just Primaris models. 3 attacks as base, leadership 8 and a 3-up save. They're equipped with a heavy bolt pistol, starters, chain, sword frag, and crack grenades. And then you've got your different abilities here. Yeah, so if this model contains 9 or fewer models, you've got some options here for power axes, power moles, and so on. If it's 10 or more, you've got more options. And then also it says any number of primary sword brothers can each have their Astartes chainsword replaced with 1 power sword. Alright, so I think that's just a normal power sword, which is your +1 strength with -3 and 1 damage. Yeah, and you got the option to take power maul, power axe. That's it, something too special about their melee weapons. This is the kind of unit you'd want to give buffs and bonuses to from other places. So that's the celebration of the artwork, beautiful piece of artwork there, which you get on the main box set as well for the army box. But again, good to see Games Workshop using older artwork. Summary of the points and weapon profiles, and that is it. So that is the review for the Black Templars Codex supplement. From what I can see, it just looks good. There's loads of options here. There's some fantastic abilities that you can use, some great relics. Great abilities for chaplains here, and if I was going to go for an army, I'd go for sort of medieval swords type star is what I'd go for, but trying to build a balanced army at the same time as you need to go after objectives and so on. But that's the review. Check out Goblin Gaming, discount 40k, link for them is in the video description below. Keep a lookout for more reviews on the channel, and thanks for watching, and tune in next time.